that view.
That is, it's one of the best views in Dorset, I think, not just Mapperton, but all of West Dorset. Today we are doing Spill the Tea from Coltley Farmhouse.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you can see this view from here, but do watch many of our past episodes and the future ones because they're all about Coltley Farmhouse and this view.
Well, there's another view though, which is of this amazing fireplace, which would have been the main fire for keeping farmers over the centuries and their families warm. And you can just imagine the size of the fire that would have been here. Now it's just supported by a wood-burning stove. But
with some logs in the log basket.
Logs already, and the house
because
is ready. We're here because it's launching tomorrow. We have our first guests
from
arriving
America
tomorrow. And it's absolutely fantastic that they're coming.
It is.
And it has given us a deadline to get everything done. And the deadline has been pretty tight. Julie and I had a full day of work today. And then suddenly we get one call from the chap delivering the enormous fire pit for outside. And another call from a chap delivering garden furniture.
Which needed to be somewhat put together.
Which needed to be assembled. But it's here. And the place has come together. And miraculously, it's got the fastest broadband in the south. I mean, this place has got the most fantastic internet. So if you want to come here and make movies and edit and do social media,
what we're doing now,
Coltley Farmhouse is the place to be.
Yeah. So it's just reiterating what Luke was mentioning, that it's been, thank goodness we had a deadline, but it's been quite a stretch, or really, I should say, a sprint to get here. So yesterday I made nearly 10 beds. I still have the double bed to make in there. Not 10, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What am I thinking? 7. Then
7 plus a sofa bed.
Plus a sofa bed, which is right there.
We've got 10 guests this weekend.
That I need to make after Spill the Tea.
Yeah. By the way, Julie may be giving the impression that she is making every bed for every part of every house. You do have some help with beds normally. Not for setting up this time. The first time we make the beds, they've got to be done right. And so that's why you're doing it.
Yeah, and Malcolm taught me how to make them right.
He did, didn't he?
So yeah. So I won't be making every single bed if you decide to book it. But for this group of 10, I've made your bed.
You've made the bed. And we've got all sorts of other things that we are still putting in. Absolutely fundamental things like a kettle. That's arriving today. The toaster is arriving today. The microwave. We've still got a few lampshades that are arriving, and light bulbs need to go in. The TV, we've got huge widescreen TV with a kind of sound system. We got that installed yesterday. That's all working beautifully.
And for the bedding,
the water is hot.
Yeah.
The radiators work,
but it's so hot today.
But you wouldn't need it today. I mean, but the thing is, Julie, don't you think we should just stay here? It's peaceful.
I know, it's
got these incredible views. It's just the most calming place to be.
Yeah, because can I just say that even though we've been up here for a few hours, we're a couple hours earlier today, we had 3 groups in. Then we had a chap come who needed to do some work in the library, in the drawing room, in the muniment room. And so I was going in and out of those rooms while the groups were there because I had to show him where bits were. Then we had, well, then I was...
Well, I've had a meeting with somebody who's interested in putting cabins in the woods here at Mapperton. That was at 10:30.
I was pumping soap into the...
Soap into the things, because we've got to bring the soap up here.
I brought the soap up. So
this
by
is
the way...
exhausting, isn't it? And then we had another Zoom with a TV production company who are interested in featuring Mapperton on a big national TV series, broadcast TV series, later this year.
Well, filming later this year and then broadcast 2026.
We're quite hopeful, aren't we?
Well, she gave us a lot of hope.
She gave us some hope.
She was a big follower of YouTube, and she's watched a lot of the programs. And so we feel, I mean, we asked her point blank, and she said, well, yeah, you should feel confident.
Yeah, basically. But we shouldn't say any more than
we can't say anything more.
But we're hopeful, because that would be a really fun thing
5
to
days
do.
filming.
But this is
easy.
Sometimes I think there are really intense weeks at Mapperton, and then there are quieter weeks. actually next week is looking quieter, but this week has been
Say that.
extraordinary. This week, on Monday, Julie arrived in from Italy early on Monday morning. She'd been filming in Italy. And then I picked her up at lunchtime. We drove all the way to Derbyshire.
4.5 hours.
To Chatsworth, where we had a wonderful night's stay in what's called the Cavendish Hotel, which we really recommend if you're visiting Chatsworth ever. You must make sure that you stay there.
And the food was delicious.
The food was really, we had a delicious supper outside, overlooking Chatsworth actually.
So lovely.
Until someone took off in their helicopter rather too close to us, but that was okay.
Yep.
And,
True story.
And then we had an extraordinary day on Tuesday, attending a conference about the future of the British countryside.
At Chatsworth.
At Chatsworth. Lots of movers and shakers, people from government minister, the government farming minister, ex-ministers from previous governments, head of Natural England, which is the statutory body that looks after the countryside, various people all talking about the ways in which countryside management is changing. And one of the interesting things was that rewilding was kind of front and centre, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
And we had our friend Alistair Driver, who, as many of you know, has been the director of Rewilding Britain, and he's appeared on Mapperton Live before. He was there giving a talk, flying the flag for rewilding, and it really felt as though that aspect of nature recovery is now very much a mainstream thing. In the past, rewilding was seen as quite fringe, quite controversial. I mean, it's still controversial for some people, but actually in the round, it's now a really accepted and supported method of nature recovery in Britain. And it was just extraordinary to be at Chatsworth. What was your impression?
Well, I mean, just being at Chatsworth was, for somebody like me who obviously goes and films at other historic houses, Chatsworth would be one that I would, of course, like to film in future. I don't know if that will happen, but it was wonderful to be there. And then we were able to go in the house for a little bit. It was quick. We were there probably for 15 minutes going through some of the rooms.
We had very little time to go around and see the house because we had to get back to London, not to London, to Dorset, which was another 6-hour drive from there back to here. So we didn't want to set off too late, and that left us with very little time.
We left.
But we had a whistle stop tour.
Yes, we did, and it's just extraordinary. The art collection is
I mean, it's one of the great private art collections in the world. I mean, it really is got some absolutely fabulous works of art there, and the sculpture gallery as well. We didn't spend enough time walking through
the furniture,
the gardens, the enormous fountain.
105 acres of gardens.
105 acres of gardens.
I mean,
gosh. Sometimes we think that we struggle with the size of Mapperton, but I would say that Chatsworth is probably at least 30 times the size of Mapperton.
But they have also 1,500, I don't even know what I'm saying, but they have 1,250 staff there. So whatever that is times the amount of staff we have, they have 1,250 staff members. They told us that in a talk.
I think that's across all of the different things that they do. I mean, it's a Goliath business. It's got all sorts of things going on.
The gift shop was fantastic.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was. I mean, if we had that many people coming to Mapperton, I would want to do a gift shop like that. It was curated perfectly.
At the moment, the Mapperton gift shop, I'm afraid, is about this big.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, and we sell about one guidebook a week, possibly a magnet and a bookmark if we're lucky.
I know people are going to say, well, we'd love it if you had an online gift shop, and we do. But it's for branded merchandise rather than things that we can send out, because so many people want things sent to the States, and it's now become so expensive and complicated that it just doesn't work. Things get stuck in customs. You've got to pay enormous duty. It just hasn't worked.
It doesn't work. And for us to send out even a guidebook, that costs us, or costs whoever's paying for the postage, £15 to send it to the United States.
Which is more than the guidebook.
Yeah. So that's why we had to pull that. But of course, you can check out our Teespring. It's here on YouTube, and you can get Mapperton merchandise.
It's in the description,
It's in the description. Yeah. So you can get caps, and I curated all of that.
You did.
Caps
You
are the
designed
most popular. The baseball caps are
the
definitely...
Mapperton baseball cap. Chris, have you got a Mapperton baseball cap?
No, I want
Do you not?
hoodie, though.
Do you not wear
What
one?
hoodie?
of them?
Oh, yeah.
On a Saturday night, are you not out with your Mapperton caps?
Wearing it backwards.
Yeah.
We do have Mapperton caps in the shop. So actually, to be fair, the caps that we
There
have in the
are.
shop, they are on Teespring as
There
well.
as well. So that is there. But anyway, we had a wonderful, wonderful time
And then-
at Chatsworth. And then we came back, and I can't even remember what happened after that.
It's just been a tornado.
Well, it was here. Oh, yeah, no, I know what happened. What happened was we had this booking, and it was quite last minute for the Farmhouse for this weekend. We weren't expecting a booking for at least
No,
another
because
10
you
days
have been
or so.
doing so much behind the scenes on the booking system.
So I have been
I feel like you've been pulling all-nighters. I mean, you haven't, but...
Well, no, kind of. I mean, last night it was till 10 o'clock, I think I was doing. Anyway, these are the complicated... I mean, if any of you out there rent properties, I feel your pain, because the booking systems that you need to use, because you need to be on at least 3 of them. You've got to be on booking.com, you've got to be on VRBO, you've got to be on Airbnb, and then you need to have your own booking system. And somehow you've got to get all of these things synchronizing. And the reality is it's complicated. And so we now have a new platform called Lodgify, which we've been setting up over this past week. And
Just a huge thanks to my sister on that one.
yeah, your sister recommended that.
Yep.
And then that synchronizes everything with these other platforms. And in theory, it all works. But of course, it's never as
been
simple
some
as
bugs.
that. So we've been doing that, but that is now all out there. If you're interested in finding out about the 3 holiday lets that we have here, you can either go to mapperton.com and click on the Stays button, or you can go directly to mapperton.lodgify.com.
Details in the description.
And then you can book directly, which is always better because we don't have to pay the commission.
Yeah.
And come and stay in one of the houses.
So we've got a 2-bedroom cottage, a 3-bedroom cottage, and now a 4-bedroom farmhouse. So the 2-bedroom cottage sleeps 5. The 3-bedroom, we can bring in extra mattress. Sometimes we do that. Technically sleeps 6. That's right. And then this farmhouse sleeps 10.
Though I have to say, comfortably, the 3-bedroom sleeps 5.
5, exactly.
Comfortably, the 2-bedroom sleeps 4. And
Yes.
comfortably, this one sleeps 8.
Exactly.
If you're not using the sofa beds and the pull-out mattresses and things like that.
Exactly.
Which
But
yeah.
the more the merrier. So
The more the merrier. And we're starting to get bookings in as well.
I can't believe it.
Which is tremendous.
Yeah. We even have a booking for next year already.
We
for
do.
2026.
Yeah, we do. For June 2026. I saw that one come in yesterday or
Yeah.
something. So people are coming. Anyway, that's meant all sorts of frantic activity.
Frantic.
We've been hoovering.
It's not
we've been
even the correct
sorting
word to
out
describe
the
it.
The Wi-Fi. Julie's been making beds.
You've been doing Wi-Fi,
We've been
TV,
getting kitchen
installation.
going, and it's always, I guess, that
We're
whilst
very
we
hands-on.
do have wonderful people who help us with these things, but whenever the cottage comes together in that last moment, you and I really have to be here to kind of just make sure everything is in place that we need to.
Well,
be in
especially
place.
since we have a booking arriving tomorrow.
Especially
10
since we have a booking
people.
arriving tomorrow. Yeah.
I'm a bit nervous.
Are you?
Well, aren't you? It's the first.
I think it's all right. I think it's all
Okay.
going to be fine. And I'm so pleased that the garden furniture has arrived because it's fabulous. We've got a huge fire pit. We've got tables, chairs, everything outside.
And the view, like we said, is just...
And the weather, mind you, the weather on Saturday is not looking great. But that's just the way it is. Anyway.
Okay, well, still.
So we've got, we've also at Mapperton, as if things aren't busy enough with us, we've had, every so often we have to go through, for insurance purposes, an insurance exercise at Mapperton with valuations, and we bring in experts to come and look at the collection. And today we've got a gentleman who's come from Sotheby's, and he's looking at the manuscripts and the library.
And the library and the books in the drawing room. And
you took him in, was that all?
I took him in through 3 different groups that were going through the house.
Poor chap, he's here pulling books out of the shelves while groups are going round him. And hopefully they're not all bumping into each other.
That was like yesterday. So yesterday we had technically 3 groups, all pretty much simultaneously. We had a group come at 11, and then the group that came from America, they were interior designers from America.
You were doing a tour.
I gave a tour at 11:15, and then another group started at 11:30. So we were all the 2 other group leaders, and myself, we were avoiding each other going into the different rooms. It was a bit of a I don't know.
So was that 3 groups going at once?
Yeah.
So it really
11,
was.
11,
it was
15,
musical
11:30.
groups.
Yeah, it was.
Who's in which room?
Yeah. So I gave a tour yesterday for an
Wow.
hour, and they were really pleased. And when Americans come, I mean, especially an American group,
Yeah.
if they request that they want a tour with me,
You'll
9 times out of 10
that.
will take it
Yeah.
if I'm around. So I was able to take
Yeah.
that group, which
And then
was
they had
really
a
lovely.
garden tour
Then they had a
afterwards, didn't
private
they?
garden tour with our head
With
gardener,
Susie.
Susie, and yeah,
Wow.
it was.
So that is some of the news from Mapperton, and then we have a wedding this weekend. It's our first wedding of the season. Is that right?
Technically of the season, because we had a wedding in March.
That's true. So the normal season, which kicks off in May, and we have a wedding this weekend. We're slightly short of bar staff.
We are. I've just put out on social media.
We are twisting some arms to try and
texted some people.
Get some people to come and help us with that, and that is difficult. Again, it's hard because we're in West Dorset. There's not huge numbers of people here. People's plans change. They can do things one minute, they can't do them the next minute. So that is, just adding to the enjoyment of today, isn't it?
It is. I've even texted a child to say, "Can you come down from Durham University?"
I wasn't going to say that.
No,
I wasn't going to say. I wasn't going to go that far.
But
I don't think you need to tell people that we're basically strong-arming our children to come and help out all the way from Durham. I mean, that sounds terrible, doesn't it? I mean, we should be there manning the bars outside. The problem is
we might have to be.
that we haven't got. I haven't got any bar experience. But how hard can it be? Pulling a pint, Chris? Have you done that? Yeah. Chris can come and pull some pints. Come on, Chris.
He's busy.
What do you just do that, don't you?
It's really simple.
It's really simple.
Good fun.
It is good fun. Weddings are good fun.
Yeah,
they are good fun.
Okay.
So we have that going on. So I'm still.
But you've got some good news, haven't you?
Yes, I do.
Which you haven't revealed yet.
I haven't revealed it. I only found out last week. Yeah. So I've revealed it through social media. So if you watched my social media,
or if you're this is
or if you're a patron,
everybody watches you on social media, so everybody will know.
Okay,
this
no, I think a lot of people don't.
Well, let's give you another moment.
Many of you have been asking, and you've been following along for 2 years now, this journey of transcribing Alberta's letters, and then, of course, using a lot of those letters to help write my dissertation. Subject of my dissertation was Alberta Sturgis Montague, the 9th Countess of Sandwich, and the title of my dissertation was Redefining the American Heiress. I submitted it last November, very nervously, and then was just waiting to hear. It took a while for various reasons. It had something to do with Brexit, don't ask. We were sitting in a meeting last week, and the email came through, and I passed. But I not only passed, but I passed with distinction.
Aww.
Yeah,
and that is the highest mark you could have got, which
I know.
is absolutely extraordinary and fantastic and wonderful. And
I know.
Well done.
It was. I came up to Luke right when I got the email through. We were just finishing a meeting and showed him, and then collapsed into your arms. I was very happy.
We had a feeling that you were going to get at least some
merit. And the only reason I had a feeling is because my course tutor had emailed
sort of hinted.
Said you passed with flying colours. So I thought, well, I've got.
You didn't know that these flying colours were really at the top of the mark.
No, I didn't know they would be a distinction.
Wow.
So that has been a huge relief. And of course, we're still transcribing letters. The virtual volunteers are amazing. And they're, Daryl and I are in the Muniment room, scanning, getting it sorted, sending them out. They come back in. We upload them to the Alberta AI, and she is on fire, Alberta.
Is she?
Isn't she? Yeah. Her answers are just...
I mean, she still speaks in gobbledygook and Double Dutch and Welsh sometimes.
No. And if she does speak in Welsh, you just have to ask her to speak in English, and she does it right away. That's it.
Will you speak in Welsh quickly then?
No.
Okay.
So many of you have also asked, will there be a book? And there will be a book because I've asked for my dissertation not to be published for 5 years. You can tick that in the piece of, the...
Quick question.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be quite a good gimmick if we've got a French audience or an Italian audience or a foreign national audience to get Alberta to speak in their language?
She would be able to do that.
She would be able to do that, wouldn't she? We should try that out.
She's multilingual.
I could try it out on you as the Italian, and you could try it out on me in French, and we can see whether we can understand her.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
neat
true.
idea. Don't you
Okay,
think? Sorry, back to you.
No, all I was saying was, yes, there will be a book. As I was mentioning, I had to sort of fill out a form that I had to tick a box saying if I wanted my dissertation published or not. They don't publish all dissertations, but I suspect if you received distinction, they would publish it. But I've ticked the box that said, no, can't publish it for 5 years because that will give me time to write a book. But speaking of books, of course, there is
Whoa. You've already got a book.
Yeah.
We're not talking about another book, are we?
In 5 years.
Okay.
Plenty of time.
Really?
But the Mapperton...
Can we make it 10?
No, because I need to write it before my dissertation gets
I know,
published.
but 5 years is around the corner.
Yeah, but I've written some...
You've got a whole other book to do before then.
Yeah, speaking of the whole other book, we did our second photo shoot, so you would have seen that...
Wait, people might not know what the other book is.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So there is a Mapperton coffee table book coming out. I can't say the title, so don't say the title.
I can't remember the title.
Okay, great, excellent. So there's no problem there. And I have been trying to write it here and there and everywhere. It's meant to be 50,000 words, might be a little bit less, but still that's a lot of words. 300 photos. We had our second photo shoot with Malcolm helping to style and Jessica photographing. We had a beautiful day and we did it when all the wisteria was out. It looks stunning. And those photos have just come through yesterday.
Have you seen them?
I haven't looked yet. I will look on my train
okay.
ride because I'm heading back up to London. My train ride back up to London. I'm going to look at them and then send them off to the publisher.
How wonderful. Yeah.
So we have two or three more photo shoot days.
So that book would come out roughly...
Book is coming out September 2026.
2026. So in time for Christmas next year.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're super organised like me and you're doing your Christmas list for 2026 now...
2026.
I know.
Not
You could add it in there.
You're
Julie's
so
book,
trying to be funny. It's not.
You can give it to lots of people.
I will give it to lots of people.
Yeah.
Give one to you.
Well,
there you go.
I'm going to get a signed copy, I hope.
Yeah, you will get a signed copy.
Maybe I could sign a copy too. No,
okay, we'll talk about that one later.
Yeah, okay.
So that's been going on behind the scenes. And then, of course, there's the Tapestry. Tapestry, so many of you donated. And again, a huge thank you. I think we had over like 700 donations in total. I mean, that was extraordinary. Tapestry is in the safe hands and workshop of Emma Telford, one of the leading tapestry conservators here in the UK. She's done a lot of work with Blenheim Palace and there are tapestries there. But she has the Peacock Tapestry and I'm heading there on Thursday, the 19th of June. It is in the diary. I'm driving there to, I think she's Herefordshire, driving there and we will be doing the first clean together.
Was that Hertfordshire or Herefordshire?
I think it's Herefordshire.
You think it's what?
Herefordshire.
Herefordshire. Yeah. Okay.
Pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
Where is Herefordshire?
Herefordshire is close to Wales.
Yeah, that's her.
Is that her? Right.
Hertfordshire is...
It is closer to London.
Yeah, no, that's not her.
Yeah.
So I got it right. Phew.
It's all right.
Difficult there.
These British county names, they are complicated.
So I will be filming that for everybody. And then I'm going to stop speaking after just one last announcement, and that is YouTube. So the American Countess channel is staying the same but changing at the same time. So we will still be producing our high quality productions of historic houses and doing compilations as well. So recently we did a compilation on fires. So we pulled out scenes from the houses where we had filmed where there had been fires and made a compilation video of that. But alongside the historic house episodes and these compilations, I will be filming lifestyle vlogs and auction house, antique, treasure hunting, bargain hunting vlogs as well. We've already have 2 in the can, as they say. And the first one is coming out this...
Where would it be out now?
Yeah, by the time this is... it's already out, is what I'll say.
So in these vlogs, you go and look at antiques, and then you put in a bid, and then sometimes you win and sometimes you don't win.
Yeah.
Is that the idea?
Yeah. And I only have £100 to spend.
It's £100 maximum.
Yeah, maximum.
Right,
so
right.
that's excluding the valuation or the buyer's fee. The hammer fee. Is it called it's called the hammer fee.
Yeah.
What's it called?
The commission.
The commission. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's excluding that. So I have £100 excluding the commission.
And you can, the amazing thing is you can get some extraordinary things at auction for just £100.
Wait, okay. The one Chris knows, because I went to his dad's auction house.
Should we just have a little plug for Chris and his dad's auction house?
So good.
Yeah.
So I went to his dad.
Give the name of it.
Sorry, Atkins Auctions.
Atkins Auctions one of the
Love
great
it.
West Country auction houses.
In Devon.
And
So it takes me about
yeah.
40 minutes to get there. And there was this table that Chris knows I really wanted. It was bobbin circular, with a bobbin base and circular table.
Right.
And it is fantastic. And it did, amazingly, I got 3 pieces of something. I won't share it with you. You have to go watch the video. For exactly £100. They were the 3 things I wanted the most. I didn't get everything I wanted.
What? They were £100 each?
No, I have £100 to spend.
I imagine total.
I got 1 for £80 and then 2 things for £10, which I actually couldn't believe.
Right.
That it was extraordinary what I got for £10 each.
Yeah. Well, Julie has got her things going on in her channel. Meanwhile, over on the Rewilding side, we have launched a new channel at Mapperton called Rewilding Mapperton. It does what it says on the tin. And
so good.
And already people are subscribing. What have we got, Chris?
1,100 subscribers.
1,100 subscribers so far in 2 weeks.
2 videos have gone out.
2 videos, and the videos have got
7,000 views and 5,000.
7,000, so 5,000 is quicker, isn't it? The second one is doing even better. And these are telling stories of nature recovery at Mapperton. Indeed, they are all about our Rewilding project. And it's just fantastic. And we did that because we recognised that there are a lot of people who are really interested in Mapperton and the heritage and in all the work that we do, managing the place and the restoration projects, etc. But there was another audience of people who are really interested in nature recovery. And so we wanted to have something that was specific to them. And so far, so good, which is terrific. And it means that, like Julie will be in her auction house with her £100, I shall be out in the estate looking at different projects for the Rewilding that we can pull together. And in fact, we've got one of those coming up very soon where we will be revisiting the beaver enclosure, which of course has no beavers at the moment, but we will be looking at the things we need to do to get it ship-shape so that beavers can return once again to Mapperton, hopefully later in 2025.
Yeah. So just to top that off, we would love you all.
You're going to top off my
I'm going to top off
channel.
I'm going to
because
top.
that's at the top. You see.
Well,
you
no, I think
top
you're
it
going to. I think you're going to agree what I'm about to say. Could top it off.
Okay.
We would love you all to subscribe to all of our channels. And in case you don't know, we have 6 channels. So we have Mapperton Live, please follow, American Countess, Julie in Italy, Castles and Tiaras, which are basically American Countess long videos, historic house videos put out again. We also have Gilded Heiresses, which is a voiceover I do and put together with a script on sort of that Gilded Age
period. Did you
period.
include Rewilding Mapperton?
And Rewilding Mapperton.
So that's 7.
6. No.
6.
Let's do that again.
Someone can do
Mapperton
it.
Live, American Countess, Julie in Italy, Castles and Tiaras, Gilded Heiresses, Rewilding Mapperton.
That is
6.
Those are 6 fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then more than that,
Oh,
we also,
that's right.
we're
We're launching another one. That's what you're thinking of. We won't say it right now because we haven't launched it yet.
Do I know about this?
Yeah.
Oh, that one. That one's going to be amazing. I can't wait for that one. And then, of course, we have our partner, Little Dot Studios, who release some of our content on their channels. In particular, Absolute History,
Real Royalty,
History Hit.
No, well, we've been on one history hit, but Chronicle Medieval History, All Out History, and I think we're about to be on something called Only Human. Oh, and Abode. We were on Abode as well. So about 7.
But generally, you will see the content on our channels.
Well, always first.
Yeah.
Always first.
I think that
is
may be drawing us to a close. There was one last thing to say.
Because I've got to do some pillowcases.
Which we nearly forgot.
Seriously.
How was the food fair?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we try to do this every 2 weeks, but it's been a little bit busy. Well, it was called the Best of West Dorset. We sort of slightly altered the title or the name of the event from last year. Last year it was Taste of West Dorset, but we wanted to incorporate some local artisans and crafts people within the stall holders as well as food and drink. So we named it Best of West Dorset. We had about 40 stall holders. We nearly doubled the numbers of 2024. So 2024, we had 850 people over a 2-day event. And that's actually a really good number for especially the first time doing some type of event. This year was our second event and we had around 1,400. So that's we had over 1,400. I think we had exactly 1,410. So that is an extraordinary achievement, and hats off to Holly, who seamlessly put it together. I mean, she's fantastic with the stall holders, fantastic with organization, and people came. It was a beautiful day like today, both days, and just enjoyed access to the gardens, sat outside the cafe. We might incorporate music next year, I think. Just
There
getting
was
some live
also
music.
an amazing burger fan. Now, I know you don't eat burgers.
I ate the Holy Me burger.
But they did a smashed burger. This is a new trendy thing in England. I don't know if it affects the taste, but the idea is you take a normal burger and you smash it, and somehow it becomes a smash burger, and then you can charge more. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know you could
didn't know
charge
that?
more.
Yeah, because it's been smashed. It's more effort, isn't it? Because it gets smashed. Anyway, they were delicious. And now that we're talking about Best of West Dorset
You're
and the
hungry,
food fair,
'cause we haven't
I'm getting
eaten.
really hungry because it is way past lunchtime. And we've been working really hard.
Yeah.
So do you think we deserve some food?
Well,
don't we?
when we say way past lunchtime, that's way past English lunchtime, which is 1 p.m. It's almost 2 p.m. here.
Well, American lunchtime is
It's
earlier
11:30.
still. No, it's not. You don't
Comment-
eat lunch at
Yes,
11:30 in
I
America.
used to eat lunch at 11:30.
That's
Comment down
ridiculous.
below. Am I
That-
right? Some people eat lunch at 11:30. I'm right on
That would
that.
suggest people get up at 5:30.
They do. Americans get up very early.
No, they don't get up at 5:30.
Comment
Well,
down below.
if you do, you should sleep in a bit more because it's more fun. Anyway, it's been lovely talking to you all, and we will see you on a future Spill the Tea.
Yep.
Probably not from Cultley Farmhouse, but you never know.
Because we hope we'll have guests here.
Yeah.
Like you. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.